All right, welcome everyone. It's Ken here with Binary Pro Strategies. This is going to be the weekly recap for this last week, ending on January 10th, 2020. But before we get started, there's a couple things that I want to talk about because I think there's a lot of misconceptions that traders or people that want to be traders come in believing that are just not reality. Despite what you may see in advertising, everybody is advertising that perfect system, okay? Everybody's advertising all the money that you could have made if you're trading their strategy or their method. And I'm here to tell you it's a bunch of baloney, okay? It doesn't work that way. You can have the best trades in the world, but you as a trader have to know how to use those tools and make those trades. A system, a method, an indicator is never going to allow you to do that, okay? So whether you're buying my program, personally I feel I have the best tools. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, why that is. Or you buy somebody else's program, okay? It's always going to get down to you as an individual trader. It's never going to be the tools that you're using that's the problem. It's going to be the trader that's the problem. It's going to be the trader that is either going to make it work or make it not work. So let's look at an analogy here, okay? Say you want to be a professional football player. You want to be a quarterback. Well, I could put you on the field with the best traders in the world, give you the best tools, and put you in there as a quarterback, and I can almost promise you you're going to lose the game, all right? So who is to blame here? Is it the players? No, it's not your players. Is it the tools? No, you've got the best tools. So it really gets down to you as an individual, okay? It's the same thing with trading. You can have the best tools in the world, okay? But if you as a trader don't take the time to practice and learn what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. You cannot come in and buy a program or method and think you're going to go out there and start making $200, $300, $400 every day. And I kind of hate to bust your bubble, but that's reality, folks. I think a lot of people come in thinking they're going to start off the bat and they're going to start making right away. And if they don't make money right away, they get frustrated. It's not the tools, okay? It's the trader. And if you want to be a successful trader, you have to be in a constant learning mode. You have to spend time in front of these charts, and you have to understand the personality of every single instrument that you're trading, because they all have different personalities. And you also have to understand how they relate to each other, particularly when you're looking at Forex and the interrelationships between the different pairs, okay? We can give you tools that right out of the bat, whether you're a good trader or not, they're going to hit at 83, 76, 80% of the time. But that still doesn't make a guaranteed win. That doesn't guarantee that you as a trader is going to be successful. I think a lot of traders, they get into this whole idea of, man, if I just found that system was 95% accurate, that's all I need. Well, I'll tell you folks, I promise you the majority of traders could not trade a system that had a guaranteed win rate of 98%. I guarantee you, most of you would not be able to trade a system or a method that had a win ratio of 98%. You know why? Because here's the reality of the situation. You can have that, but what happens if your first two trades out of the gate are losers? I can almost guarantee you most of you would start doubting. Most of you would not take the next trade because you have the fear that it's going to lose. You would start getting frustrated. You would start making mistakes. You would start coming in there and doing crazy things with size and everything like that. That is the reality of trading. It's not how accurate it is, okay? It's how well do you understand the markets and how well have you learned to use the tools in front of you and reading the markets and putting it all together and making the right trading decisions, okay? That's what trading is. Trading is about probabilities. And even when you have probabilities, just because something's 98% accurate, you could have those two first losses in a row. Now, it may be distributed, okay? It may be only, you may have one loss, and then 50 trades later have another loss. okay? But that's not going to happen. Some days you're going to have 70% win ratio. Some days you're going to have an 80% win ratio. And the problem is you don't know. Nobody's telling you it's going to be 100% out of the next 10 trades or 80% out of the next 10 trades. You're looking at the law of large numbers. You're going with the percentages. Okay, on average, when I'm trading in the morning session, I'm looking at somewhere in the area of 15 to 20 trades. And in the evening, when I'm trading for 2 hours, I'm looking somewhere in the area of 4 to 7 trades. That's all. Okay, but still, that's a lot of setups. That's a lot of opportunities to do well and make money on a daily basis. That's why I like 5 minutes. So when you look at comparing something like this and say the day trades, which is something I just recently released, you look at the trades. Now this is my results. I am trading every single one of these. These are the premiums I've received in my own personal account. This is where I am for the month, down $198.25. Most people are not going to continue to trade this because they're going to think, this is not a good trading approach. And you know what? It may not be. Okay, personally, it's not my preference. I like to trade the 5 minutes because you know what? I like to have 20, 30 opportunities per pair per day instead of maybe 2, 3, 4 opportunities per pair per month. Okay, and that's the reality. So when you look at trading, it depends on your time frame. If you want to be a daily trader, you've got to look at where you're going to be in a month or 2 months down the road, not where you are on a week by week or even a day by day basis. Totally different when it comes into doing the 5 minutes. And also, are you here do you want to make money on a daily basis or do you want to make money on a monthly or every 2 weeks? It depends on your personality. I want to make money. I consider this a paycheck. I want to make money on a daily basis. That's why I trade the 5 minutes. Okay? And so the point is that I can give you the best tools in the world, but I don't want you to come in and even purchase my package or anybody's package thinking you're going to come in and you're going to be a successful trader next week. Okay? It's going to take time. It's going to take time to learn the tools. It's going to take time for you to put into watching the markets, and that's just reality. Okay, everybody wants to be a successful trader, but nobody wants to put the time into it. And I see it over and over and over again. And I just want everybody to see the reality. I don't care what everybody's advertising out there. It's a bunch of bunk. Okay, you're not going to come in and make $20,000 in your first month. It's just not going to happen. Okay, and if you're not willing to put in the time, you're best to move on to do something else. Sell real estate or do whatever you want to do, but don't be a trader because trading takes time. It takes work. It takes you have to be focused. You have to learn how to use the tools in front of you, and if you're willing to do that, then you're going to be successful. I have people that come in, I may even see them maybe once or twice a week. Then I have those that come in every single day, and those guys are doing well. And they do well, and they're trading live, and they've only been doing it for a couple weeks. But one thing that they do have is most of the people that come in and do well right off the bat have some experience. They put in the time. They understand a little bit about how markets work. Okay, this is just kind of the icing on the cake for them, and it sheds a whole new light because the way I trade and the way my methods are designed is they are designed to be self-adaptive. They do adapt to the way the markets move. Okay, and that's why I think the PAP pattern is the best that I feel anybody's ever going to come up with trading these markets because it's called the PAP, the Phase Adaptive Pattern. And what that means is that all markets, okay, and I've known this going back to I've been trading for 38 years. Markets do have a certain way that they move. I don't care if it's a pork belly, I don't care if it's gold, silver, I don't care if it's the Aussie US, I don't care what it is. All markets have the same type of movement, okay? There is a rhythm to the way markets move. And the pattern that I trade will keep you in sync with that rhythm. It's not 100%. You can have a news event. Like last week, this whole thing with Iran. You get these crazy moves in the market. and you find a crew trade that you're in long, all of a sudden turns out to be a loser, that was just a huge gainer. Okay, that's going to happen. News events you cannot predict. You can't say listening to the news is going to help you, because you can have the most bullish news in the world and the market's going to go down, and or vice versa. Okay, you've got to go with what the market's telling you to do and accept the fact that sometimes you're going to do everything right and the markets are going to throw you a curveball, and you're just going to have to accept it for what it is and move on. But I think a lot of people also get into this whole over-analysis, and they think, oh my God, I'm having losses. I need to start throwing in this indicator. I need to start listening to the news. I need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? That's a recipe for disaster. You're making it too complicated, too many decisions. You get into analysis paralysis. That is a big problem with traders. My method is very simple. I don't look at indicators. It has one single parameter. It does keep me in phase with the market. I don't listen to the news. I don't care what's going on, because price is going to tell me. I know from time to time I'm going to be wrong, but you know what? I'm going to be right a lot more than I'm wrong. And where percentages come in in how to manage your trading size. Because when it comes to binaries, don't think that you're going to be able to make $80 and risk $20 all the time, folks. It's just not going to happen. Binaries aren't designed that way. There's pros and there's cons to binary trading. Where you make your money in binaries, and those that are in the chat room see this and know this, is that how you manage your size, okay? You have to learn how to manage size. You need to know when to come in and add on several more contracts, and when to go back to singles. And that's something that I teach you. And it involves a little bit of everything. Market correlation. What is my win and loss ratio? Am I in phase or out of phase? Which I show you how to do, because when a market's in phase, it stays in phase. And that's the beauty of what I do. When it goes out of phase, I stop trading, because when it goes out of phase, it typically will stay out of phase for a while as well. So all these tools, you put them all together and you trade off of that, and basically every time you add another filter or something like that, you're going to increase your odds of being successful. But only through experience and doing it on a day-by-day basis are you ever going to become successful. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to make everybody clear about that. Don't expect to come into my chat room. You're going to watch me trade. All these trades that I make here and you see here, I'm actually making. I'm calling them out. People are seeing what I'm doing. Okay, this is all 100% transparency. Okay, but don't think you're going to come in and follow me and follow my trades, because I guarantee a lot of you are not going to take the ones that I'm taking, and a lot of you are probably want to put size on the ones that I'm not putting size on. And then some of you are going to take trades that I'm going to shy away from. Okay, so I explain the ones I shy away from. I explain the ones I'm getting into. But most of you are going to have these bad habits of looking at this and looking at that and looking at this indicator, and is it overbought and is it oversold, and is there a trend line here, or is there a candlestick pattern here, or whatever, and it's going to cloud up your thinking completely, and you're not going to know what to do, and you're probably going to take the losing trades, and you're going to miss the winning trades, because I promise you the winning trades are usually the trades that don't look good, because if they look good to everybody would take them, and that's why most people lose. So the hardest trades to make are the ones that don't look good. Those are the winners. Those are the ones everybody shies away from, and I've seen it over my 38 years. I've worked with clients. I've managed people's money. I've been a retail broker, and I've seen what retail traders do. I promise you, they always get into the losers, and they miss the winners. It's amazing how that works, but this is a totally different game. This is not, the worst traders I can tell you right now that I have seen are typically doctors and engineers, and there's nothing wrong with those types of traders, but they overanalyze it, and you can't overanalyze. I have an engineering background myself. That was my mistake when I first got into it. I overanalyzed it. And it only until I stopped overanalyzing it and just went with what the market was telling me, made it simple, that I become a successful trader. So if you're the analytical type, you're going to not see it. You're not going to make it. You've got to make it simple. Otherwise, you're going to always be chasing for the next holy grail, and you're never going to find it. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. That's what I wanted to explain to everybody. And let's take a look at this week. This week was one of the best weeks I've had in a really, really long time. Okay, I was hitting on every first trade. I hit 100% for the week. Friday, I was down a little bit, but you know what? That's my mistake. I was having such a good week. I was actually up. I was just shy of my objective. Okay, I could have quit, but I wanted to go for the objective. I put size on the wrong trades. They were absolutely the right decisions. They looked just great setups, but you know what? They don't always work, because if they did, I would only trade the ones that were 100%. That doesn't exist, folks. So it is what it is. Still ended up with a great week. As far as the naked signals are concerned, once again, this is just blindly going with every time a PAP says a buy or a sell. That's what these naked percentages are all about. As far as the dailies, once again, dailies is something I just started in January. It's too early for me to know exactly how to adjust size on these. So I am just looking at these on a single contract basis. I will continue to personally trade these in my account. I have a separate account, and all I'm trading are these dailies, and so I can keep track of it. And we'll just see. I mean, last week, obviously, a lot of stuff in the news with this whole war situation. I had a lot of really good positions on that turned sour only because of the crazy news that was going on. That's going to settle down. I'm going to get back in the sync. I have a feeling over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be in the green again. Once again, too early to tell because, you know, I'm used to making 20 trades a day per pair instead of 2 or 3 trades a month per pair. So it's going to take some time for me to see where that's going to go. All right. So anyway, overall, great week. If you have any questions, you can always leave me a message below, and I will get back to you. Or you can always go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com. You can contact me that way as well. If you want to keep up with the dailies to see how am I doing on a day-by-day basis and what is my overall naked win ratio for that day, just go to Pro Strategies on Instagram and go ahead, and I'll send you, you'll be updated daily. I go to Instagram every night and I update that. So if you want to get a little bit more, follow me more on a daily basis, Instagram is going to be the way to go. Okay? Besides that, please join my channel. I'll make sure that you get you'll be the first to know any new training videos I have coming out. Like I said, as soon as I get some time freed up, I'm going to put out some free stuff for everybody. Talk a little bit about money management, things to look for, whether you're trading my program or another program. There's a lot of things that can be done when it comes to how you manage size and so forth. So make sure you get on my email list, and we'll make sure that, that you get notified when those come out. Okay, so once again, please join us. Give me a thumbs up. That's it for this week, and I will be back next week with the next update. Hope everybody have a great trading week, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.